Hey, this is Rick Caselge, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, I wanted to go through a quick rounded shoulders workout. And what it is, it ends up involving 3 exercises, and I'll get Alex to demonstrate. So we're gonna use the chair. So we want to do this workout in a sitting position because it ends up taking out the lower body. So by sitting, it anchors the lower body, so we don't need to worry about the ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. We can just isolate the upper body and focus on improving those rounded shoulders. So the first one ends up being opening up the collarbone. So before we get to that exercise, we want to make sure that the rest of the body is set in a good position. So our pelvis isn't tilted back, our back isn't rounded, our mid-back isn't rounded, our shoulders aren't rounded, which we don't want, which we're trying to fight against, and our head isn't forward. We want to bring that pelvis forward. We want to bring that low back to normal curve. We want to flatten out that mid-back, bring the shoulders back, have those eyes look ahead, and that's where we're starting. Then we're going into, so that's a starting position, and then we're going to go through that open collarbone exercise. So what Alex is going to do is open up the collarbone. So it ends up being a subtle small movement, and then relaxing. So with this one, what we're doing is we're going through 5 repetitions, smooth controlled movement. At that end position, we're going to hold it for 5 seconds, and then we're going to relax. And what we're doing with this exercise is we end up stretching out the front of the shoulder, which tends to be tight in people with rounded shoulders. And then also we're kind of working on strengthening that mid-back area. So that ends up being the first one. And we can end up progressing that to a 10-second hold and 10 repetitions. After this one, you roll into the next exercise of the workout. And what that ends up being is mid-back tightener. So Alex, once again, is in that good starting position in sitting. Then bringing the hands behind the head. Good. Then you're going to bring the elbows back, but then really focus on that mid-back area tightening up. You're going to hold that, and then you're going to end up relaxing. Good. So with this one, what we're doing is we're stretching out that shoulder. We're stretching out the shoulder in this position. But then also being in this hands behind head position, we're also working on stretching out the shoulder when it comes to rotation. And the tightener part is now we're really trying to have that movement happen in the mid-back and shoulder blades. So Alex, let's get you to stand up and just face this way. Okay, yeah, you can do it sitting. That's great. Yeah. So what you're doing is we want to see that mid-back area tighten up. Good. And then relaxing. So working the mid-back muscles and the muscles around the shoulder blade. So it ends up being a stretch, but then it also ends up being a mid-back strengthening exercise because people with rounded shoulders tend to be weak in that mid-back area. So with the first one, we're kind of stretched out the front of the shoulder, also worked on that mid-back area a little bit. Then with the second one, we worked on stretching things more intensely in the front of the shoulder and with rotation, and really worked on those shoulder blade muscles and the mid-back muscles. Now with the third one of that rounded shoulders workout is we're gonna lace the fingers, and we're gonna bring the arms overhead, and we're gonna try to arch that mid-back area a little bit. Good. So we don't want an increase in movement in the low back, we want it to happen in the mid-back. So people with rounded shoulders tend to be have stiffness and poor movement in that mid-back area, and that ends up contributing to that head forward posture. So rounded forward, being stiff in that mid-back area ends up leading to that head forward posture. So we want to loosen up that mid-back area, so it's not necessarily stretching. We want to work on improving the movement in those vertebrae in the mid-back, and we do that with the laced fingers overhead. So lacing the fingers, bring the arms overhead. We're working on, we're also activating the muscles in the shoulder blade, the mid-back, but then also working on loosening up things in that mid-back area. So with this one, you're holding for a couple seconds and then coming back down. So it'd go with 5 repetitions, bring the hand, interlacing the fingers, bring them overhead, holding for a couple seconds at the end, 1 or 2 seconds, and then back down. You can end up progressing to 10 repetitions, still with like a 1 or 2 second hold, because we're working more on mobility or movement in that mid-back. Now I don't think I mentioned when it came to the mid-back tightener. With this one, you're holding it for about 5 seconds, 5 repetitions, holding for about 5 seconds, and then you can end up progressing to 10 repetitions. A 5-second hold is still good enough. If you want, you can end up doing a 10-second, but 5 seconds should end up doing fine for you. So there you go. Those exercises, you can do them on a daily basis as a little quick rounded shoulder workout. Now, if you like this video and you're looking for a few more tricks when it comes to fixing your rounded shoulders, what I recommend for you to do is click right here. What I have is a new free report called 5 Tricks to Fight Rounded Shoulders. So just click right here, let me know where to send that report, and I'll personally send you that report. Now, if you're watching this video on a mobile device, a tablet, a smartphone, then head down below into the description, click the first link in the description, which will end up being exercisesforinjuries.com/rounders. Let me know where to send the report, and I'll send you that report right away. While you're down below, make sure to like the video. If you like the video, leave me a comment if there's another video that you want me to do for you. And lastly, hit that subscribe button so you're kept up to date with future pain relieving videos.